I just wanna be the greatest.
It's your boy HifiVega back again, and today we are checking out a Kicker LX amp. We're checking out the small mono. This is the LX850.1. So let's open this guy up, see what's inside. We'll put it on the dyno, and we'll see if it lives up to its claims. We do have a 850 watt RMS claim here for power and 1100 watts dynamic. So let's get it open and see what it'll do. Right off the bat, we do see a certified power rating here, 960 watts. So they use audio precision to get this rating here. So you know that's going to be very, very precise. Now the AMM1 should be pretty close to that, but you know, it all depends on the power bank and if it can hold up the voltage. You do get a really dope bass knob. Once we get this amp hooked up and get power to it, we'll check the bass knob out, but I do like the design. It's a nice sturdy bass knob. This amp is pretty compact, as you can see. We're about 9.5 inches across, about 8.5 inches deep, or tall, if you want to say. This would probably be the tall rating, 2.5 inches tall, so a pretty compact amp. You do have this cool little cover here, magnetically held in place. Love that. So on the front of it, we do have our high level input here. Remote bass knob plugs in here. You do have a USB port. Not exactly sure what that's for. You do have your DC offset on and off here if you're doing it with the high level input. Subsonic filter, 10 to 80 hertz. You have your crossover, 40 to 160, so you can control the bandwidth, the frequency, and then of course the bass boost control will be up top. Then you have all your inputs here, RCAs if you're not using high level, and these will hold 4 gauge wire. Let's get this dude hooked up and see what it does on the dyno. We got everything hooked up. We're going to start with the 4-ohm test. We are rated 300 watts by 1 at 14.4 volts. Starting voltage will be 14.8. We'll see if we can hold that 14.4, get our rating. You will notice that the conductor here is showing -12 on the amperage draw. That's just an effect of the way everything's hooked up on my test bench. So whatever amperage pull we get, we'll just add 12 to that. And of course, you got the AMM1 here. So let's let it rip, see what we got. This will be a 40 hertz test. We got 286 at 14.2 volts here, pulling around 28 amps. Not terrible. We'll run that back one more time, let the battery charge up a little bit. There we go, 310 at 14.8 volts, pulling about 28 amps. So not bad, definitely made rated there. Let's go on to the 2-ohm test and see what we get. All right, on to the 2-ohm mono test. We are rated 500 watts by 1, and of course it's 14.4 volts. $545 watts, 14.8 volts at 2 ohms. Pulling about 54 amps roughly. Not too bad at all. Passed the test there as well. So I guess all there is to do is run this thing at 1 ohm and see what we get. You know, it's been a while, guys, and I just realized I ran both those dynos in the real power mode.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
Hey, listen, I'm a rookie again. Forgive me. We're going to run this in the real power mode at 1 ohm, and then we're going to run it in the dyno mode at 1 ohm and see if we get any difference here. With that being said, let's let it rip. We've been able to hold voltage so far pretty well. All right, we're at 14 volts. We got 847 watts at 14.3 volts, 858. So we definitely passed there. Let's pause this. You can hear the power supply kicking in there. So let's run it in dyno mode and see if we get a better result, something similar. We're going dyno mode here. and we're going to see what we get. $859 at 14.2 volts, drawing 95 amps, 96 amps. Not too bad at all. Definitely made rated. Don't pay attention to that number. When you push the pause button, it does that. So not too bad. Let's see if we can start it off a little high and maybe hold the voltage a little bit better. We'll let the power supply kind of charge it up. If we start off higher on the volume and we're not cranking it, sometimes you can get hold a little bit better voltage. So let's do it one last time. We've already made rated. Let's see what we can get. 872 at 14.2 volts, drawing about the same amount of amperage. Not bad at all. Definitely made rated, and I don't doubt that you would get that 1100 dynamically. So a pretty solid amp here. Definitely something you expect out of Kicker. They're gonna do what they say. That being said, let's kind of check out some of the other features of the amp. In order for you guys to see this next feature, I did have to turn down the lights a little bit, but as you can see, you got a pretty cool glow right here on the Kicker logo. So you have a few controls here. You can adjust the brightness with the middle button. So you can go all the way off, which is nice. You know, if you have a certain install and you just don't want this to be distracting, that's a nice feature to have. You can go as bright as it'll go right here, which it's not as bright as the sun like some of these amp lights are, which is great. And you can go a little bit more. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 steps and then off. So that's completely bright. This other button will give you color options. So you have the red, you have a purple, you have kind of a lighter purple, you have a blue, lighter blue, a teal-ish color, then you have green. I actually like the green, looks pretty good. You have a brighter green, you have yellow, you have orange, then you have a light blue, back to red. So that's a pretty cool feature just to add, and I just think it's a nice feature to add, you know, and you can turn it off if you don't want it, which is great. All right, so the other feature is the gain knob actually has a clip light built into it. So once you get up to clipping, you will see it light up. A great feature to have. A clip light on an amp is very, very nice to have. One thing that I did want to show you is how well a standard 4-gauge wire fits in there. This is NVX wire. It is 1862 strands. So it's a very standard, normal 4-gauge, and it fits very well. Not only does the wire fit in there very well, but the jacket fits inside the hole. So a nice clean installation. I definitely wanted to show you guys how well that fits. Now, if you have an oversized, you might have to cut it back a little bit, but a standard 4-gauge wire fits really well in there. All right, final thoughts with the Kicker LX850. It did everything it said it was going to do, has some great features. It's a great looking amp if you ask me. It's reminiscent of the Q class, but a little classier in my opinion. So I haven't shown you guys here, but you do have the venting for the amp. You have the Kicker kind of embedded, engraved, whatever you want to call it, logo on this side and on this side. It's just a great looking amp. You have the model number on the back. Great looking amp. MSRP on this one is $450, but right now it's on sale everywhere for like $100 off. It's like $359, I believe, $360, somewhere in that range. So a really good value for a high quality amp. Now, of course, you can get more power for the money. If you're looking for dollar per watt, this probably isn't the amp for you. But if you want a high quality subwoofer amp, definitely consider checking this one out. And they go all the way up to a 3000 watt amp in this line, I believe. The only thing to do is to hook this up to a sub. I've got the perfect subwoofer to hook this up to, so we're gonna do that in another video, so stay tuned. We're gonna put this little guy on a perfect sub for it and see what it can do. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, doing all that stuff, and I plan on seeing you guys on a more regular basis. So with that all being said, I will catch you on the very next video.